Hi, and welcome to episode 5 of the Yarn Lovers podcast. If you're returning, then thank you for coming back to us, and if you're checking us out for the first time, then welcome. I am Lindsay. I can be found on Ravelry as Callie Astra, and I can be found on Park, Twitter, and Facebook as Yarn Lovers. First of all, I have a couple of shout-outs this week. Rather, I have one shout-out this week. Someone introduced themselves on the Ravelry group introductions thread, MB143. Welcome to the group and thank you for introducing yourself. This week has been a bit strange. My partner has been working from home, apart from Monday. He's self-employed. So he's been working from home this week, and I'm not used to him being around during the day. Although he's been working until 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm just trying to get some documentation done. So he's been going to bed very, very late and getting up at lunchtime and sleeping in the evening. So not the normal routine. I'm not sure what we did last week. I can't remember the last week. I'm recording late this week, actually, just due to hospital appointments and people being around. The weekend, I think we spent most of Saturday afternoon tidying the children's bedroom. We took 2 hours to try and convince the 5-year-old that he needed to do some work and tidy his bedroom, which was a horrible mess. And in the end gave up and did it ourselves. The consequence of which was that some of the things that he wanted to keep for crafting were thrown out. We have a recycling bin, and he raided the recycling bin for any cardboard boxes, cereal packets, that sort of thing, and they get squirreled away in his room, but there's just stuff everywhere. And he never threw anything out, so we threw it out for him. It took us 2 or 3 hours to tidy and clean. It involved moving furniture and vacuuming underneath it. It's pretty horrible. Crumbs everywhere. We've had a problem in the past, or my partner's had a problem in the past, where there were carpet beetles under beds and under sofas and things eating and munching on the carpet. So these things need to be vacuumed under pretty regularly to stop that from happening. And a lot of insecticide. Right. What else? I'm also having a bit of a strange week, sort of social media wise, because everyone I know has gone to Iceland. As you know, I moved here from Iceland. I had lived there for a few years. I worked in the games industry, the computer games industry. I worked for the games company who produce a massively multiplayer game. And once a year they have their annual fan fest, and around 1,000, 1,500 players travel to Iceland. And usually it's like Dragon Con or whatever, and it runs from Thursday to Sunday. And because it was very heavily involved in the game before and during working for this company, because I was a player, which is how I got my job. Everyone I know is involved with this game, and they're all in Iceland at the moment. It's horrible because I want to be in Iceland. I miss my friends that I used to work with. I've moved here, and I'm starting to get friends now, but it takes a while to build these things up, especially when you're not working. And I worked with 300 plus people, and I knew everyone, and my social group was very much based around my work, because there were a lot of foreigners who had moved there to work for the company. Then they socialised with each other, because what else are you going to do? I first went to Iceland as a player of the game, actually, for their fan fest 5.5 years ago. God. And decided that I wanted to live in Iceland. I just fell in love with the place and the company, and I decided, right, okay, I'm going to get a job with this company and move to Iceland, which is what I did. It took me a year old, but that's what I did. I moved everyone up to Iceland. So everyone's in Iceland, and I'm the constant barrage of Facebook photos of people whom I know all together and places that I know. My ex-husband is up there at the moment, and would appear to be in every single photograph that's out there. And yeah, the people that I miss that I worked with, I'm a bit homesick. Anyway, on to the knitting. I have one finished object this week, and it's the Hogwarts Express jawlet. There we go. This language. That's so cool. I still think that's fantastic. I didn't block it because I don't think it needs stretching out. I will do very soon. But as fine as it is at the moment. This is knit in Sheepy Time pearl necklace, which is fingering weight, in the grey matter colourway. That's nice. It knit up very well. I did a little border on the bottom because I have quite a lot of yarn left. I still have quite a lot of yarn left. I should have made this part much bigger. I was slightly impatient to get onto the owls. I was bored of using garter stitch basically, and so should have held off for a few more rows, I think, probably 10 or so. And that is all of my finished objects this week. And on to what's on the needles. Right, first of all, I've not made much progress on this, but have done some. I got my, let's see, I got the needles that I'd ordered. There we go. Which are the Knit Pro or Knit Picks Nova metal needles, and that I think is a 80cm cable, which is 32 inch. I mentioned last week that I'd ordered these because I kept snapping. I don't know if I've got any in here. I kept snapping with the bamboo DPN, so this is 2.25 mil, so it's a size 1, and I'd snapped one. So I thought I would try this out, and I don't know why I have been persevering with DPNs for so long, because this is so much easier to use. And anyway, this is the BFF Kiki BFF sock pattern from the Knit Sock Love book, and it is in Knit Picks Stroll in the Peapod colourway. That's just cables. And every 6 row you do a cable roll, which is nothing really. It's really easy for a kitty pattern, shall we say. I've never knit a cable sock before actually. They're usually the ones I do are sort of lace, so yeah, it's interesting. I've done cabling before, but I've never done it on the sock. It's a bit fiddly, but it's no hassle. It's only every 6 rows, so I can't complain. So yeah, I'm finding magic looping socks much easier than using DPNs, which I always find that it's a bit of a hedgehog. They're everywhere and you sort of get poked. And rather than having 4 or 5 needles to work with, it seems to be much easier just to have the 2. and I'm not getting. I don't normally suffer much from lathering, but still it's not as bad. The magic looking at that, I can't notice it. Well, it's fine on the edge there. I didn't do much of that. We went to. Oh, that's what we did on Saturday. It was Mother's Day on Sunday here. And we travelled to Kent to see my partner's grandmother, whom I'd never met before, actually. So that was good. The children stayed here. My eldest, my middle one actually, who lives with us, is 16, so he looked after the smaller one for part of the day. So we were gone for a few hours. She lives about an hour and 20 minutes away, and we went with my partner's father. So that was nice. It's nice to meet any new peoples. I should apologise to my mother because I didn't buy her Mother's Day card, which is pretty horrible. I did not want for Britain's cards, but other people are into issues. They make the effort and actually send these things. I have to remember when it's too late. Right, the other thing I was working on, this was the thing that I was working on, is this, which is the Rock Island show. I picked this up again. I think it was probably Monday or Tuesday. I had the aging part. I'd had this part here, up to here. What you do is you knit the edging sort of along the way, back and forth, very, very short rows. I can't remember how many it is, it's like 16 stitches or something, over and over and over again. And it's an 8 row repeat, and you knit it 71 times, I think. Oh, it took me ages. It started at Christmas. It just seemed to go on and on and on and on forever. Basically because it was fiddly, because it was such short rows, changing needle all the time, and this thing was just getting in the way of itself, because it ended up 7 foot long. It was longer than if my partner could hold it above his head and it would touch the floor, and he's 6 foot 1. So it's pretty long. And then what you do is there's yarn over on each second row. Every second row, and you pick up the yarn overs, as you can see there, and then you do a few garter stitch decreases, rows of decrease, and then you go into the second place pattern, which is the Rock Island pattern, which I messed up twice, and in fact I can see a mistake in it now, but I ripped it back completely to the border, and it sat for ages without me ripping it out, because I didn't want to rip it out, because I spent so much time on it. I didn't want to do it again. So I'd finished the whole Porch Express, and I decided that I didn't really want to knit socks. I wasn't really in the mood for knitting socks. I'd knit a couple of socks in a couple of days, so I didn't want to do any more socks. And also I was waiting for needles to come. So I picked this up again, as I say, Monday or Tuesday, I can't remember which. And I did the garter stitch, and I actually got through the Rock Island thing. I did have a few hairy moments. And I have actually made a mistake or two, but it's not particularly noticeable, and I can live with it. I was not ripping it out again. There was a few tinking exercises. This is very difficult when it's lace like this, and it's not very tight, and there's just so many yarn overs in this, and so the yarn overs that are difficult, of course, it's the decreases, it's the knitted togethers, and there are a few slip one knitted together past the slip stitched over in this. There's a lot of them actually. Every second row has those in, and unpicking that is just nasty. I'm knitting this in dye for yarn, Tusa silk, which is 100% Tusa silk, and this is the four weddings and funeral colour only, and I have some news about that. I'm started to decrease now, so it shouldn't be too much longer. The dog part's just all garter stitch, so it's fine. You can watch TV and do that. I've actually watched almost the entire 2 seasons of Twin Peaks. I don't know why I started rewatching Twin Peaks. I haven't seen it in God over a decade anyway. I nearly finished it. I'd forgotten how old it was. It seemed to make much more sense when I was a teenager. Say over a decade, it's probably 20 years ago I watched it. It's a bit scary. But I did discover it's got a very, very young David Duchovny. This man walked on into the scene in drag. It's obviously a man. Agent Denise something or other, and I thought, I recognised that voice. Really recognised that voice, and it bugged me for 10 minutes. Then I realised it was David Duchovny, and I checked IMDb, and of course it was David Duchovny 20 years ago in drag. It's got nice legs. Anyway, the wonderful owners and dyers of Dye for Yarn and Dye for Wool, they have 2 Etsy stores, have given me a discount code to give out on the podcast. The discount code will run until the 1st of April. With it, you will get a 5% discount. Now, they have 2 stores. There's Dye for Yarn, which is mainly silks, and there's Dye for Wool, which is obviously wool and wool blends. If you're in the market for any lace weight yarn, then these guys are wonderful. They're probably my favourite Etsy yarn store. I just spend ages looking at their store. It's beautiful. Sorry, the code is Yarn Lovers. And I'll post that in the show notes, and it runs until the 1st of April, as I say. I'll be placing an order myself. I've been debating for the last day or 2 since I heard back from them whether it's very cheeky of me to use my own discount code to place an order, but I was going to order stuff anyway. I've been sitting on their site for the last 3 or 4 days trying to decide what to buy. I'm into lace at the moment. I decided that I want to knit lace. I'm sure next week I'll want to knit Aran something, or colour work or something. I'm planning on doing some colour work actually. But please check out their store. I don't understand how they get the colours that they get. They're so beautiful. Tend not to be variegated or anything. They're just pretty much a solid colour, but they're stunning. I've got my eye on one which is Dragonfly Flying Too High, which is this beautiful aquamarine colour. It's so vivid. And I don't know what else to get. I keep looking at the store. I keep asking my friends, what should I get? I don't necessarily have anything in mind other than lace shawl patterns, and I think it's a lace shawl pattern pretty much suits any colour. I'm looking for something fairly bright, I think, or saturated. This one is, as I say, it's a lace and 4 weddings and a funeral. I don't think I'll go for silk. I don't think I'll go for silk this time. I think I'll go for wool, or one of the wool blends. That's very pretty. I was so happy when I got it. I'd never bought hand-dyed yarn before, and it was the first one I ever bought. I can't remember how I discovered the Etsy store. I think it was an advert on Ravelry that I clicked on. And it's just amazing. So that is all I have on the needles. That should be done by next week, hopefully, unless I get so bored of garter stitch and the decreased garter stitch and decreases that I just give up and do something else. But I want to get it done. I've been doing it for such a long time though, although I've not been actively doing it, that I just want to get it finished. And I'm over the so hopefully that will happen pretty quickly. I can sit and do it and not pay much attention. You know, if I mess up and confuse a decrease row and the normal knit row, then you know it doesn't really matter a huge amount. I'm not really a perfectionist when it comes to knitting, I'm afraid, especially with the lace. It's too difficult not to make any mistakes at all. And sometimes the yarn notice. Right, what's new? I got shiny things in the mail. A few shiny things in the mail. A few shiny things coming in the mail. I had mentioned last week, I think, that I'd placed an order because one of the Etsy stores had free shipping. Ear ornaments, etc. And I placed an order for stitch markers. She does earrings and stitch markers. And I got stitch markers yesterday, actually. And it came in a very nice little bag, which is handy for passing on to other people and taking part in a few swaps. So it's nice. And I got these. Just little stars that are very reflective. And there are 6 of these, and there are 5 blue with a little blue bead, and there's one with a little red bead. I think it's red. Red green, colourblind. I think it's red. And I got these. Those are very large. I'm not quite sure what size. I don't know. It's pretty much fit on any size needle, to be honest. They're fairly big. And I got these. These are much smaller. These will suit me better. The ring is teeny tiny. These for releasing. There are, I don't know how many of these there are. A few. 2, 4, 6, 8, 11, and there's one again which is slightly different. It's a different shade of green for marking the end of a row or the beginning of a row or whatever. I bought these ones actually because of the name. They're called Surrey, and I live in Surrey, so there we go. She also put in this, which was very sweet. This is great. I like this. I love little things. Which is a little tiny sheepy. A little tiny sheepy stitch marker. Which is very cute. It's got a little bead and a little star instead of a ring. This is going to be great. This will be great for shops because it just marks the beginning of a row or a round. Anyway, Flancers, who runs the store, the Etsy store, contacted me and offered a discount code. So I have another discount code for you. The shop is Etsy/store/eardornament, etc. I'll spell that for you. It is EARDORNMENTETC. The discount code is YarnLovers312, and that will get you 10% off in her store until the end of March. So yay! If you want stitch markers, then please check that out. Again, I will link to the store in the show notes and give all the details for the discount code. Excuse me. I obviously got that needle in those needles in the mail as well. What I also got was my lovely partner ordered me these. Yay! I'd been surviving with 2 sizes of needles for the last year or so, and he ordered me the Knit Pro or Knit Mix, depending on what country you're in, deluxe symphony or harmony needle set, the interchangeables, which has 8 sizes of needles, and there's everything from an 8mm. I'm not sure what that is in the US. I suspect it's possibly a size 11. Down to a 3.5mm. So we've got 3.5mm, 4mm, 4.5, 5, 5.5, 6, 7 and 8. If you've not seen these before, then these are the fat ones. These are the 8mm ones. So there's 8 sets of needles in there, and you also get a little case, which is great. You can see them through. They've all got the, I don't know if they do this in the States, because I once bought a set of Knit Picks needles in the States, just the one, and they didn't have the numbers on, but these have the numbers marked on, the sizes marked on, which is handy, and you can see that through the case. So there's no rummager. And it came with 4 needles, 4 cables, 1 in each size. So there's everything from the little tiny ones to very long, and obviously the ends and the little tool that you use to tighten them up. If you have interchangeable needles, if you're buying interchangeable needles for the first time, please use the tool to tighten them up. I have occasionally been very lazy, but I'm not doing very much, it'll be okay, and this thing flies off, and then you're left with live stitches off the needle, and it's just a hassle to get them back on. Right, I am going to do a giveaway. If anyone would like these little stitchy markers, I will open a thread in Ravelry group, which is Yarn Lovers. If you've not already joined the Ravelry group, then please join up. I will open a thread, and if you post in the thread, then you stand a chance of winning some nice little stitch markers. As I say, there are 6 of them there, little stars. I wouldn't necessarily use them to knit lace because they're a bit big, but really would be good for sweaters and things. I like shiny things. I've been using, these are the first stitch markers I've ever got. I've been using cable ties, which work great. They're fine. One of the reasons I hadn't picked up that Rock Island shawl again was because my partner had taken the bucket of cable ties away to work, or he'd taken it on site for one job or another and left it there, and had to go back and get it. But yeah, cable ties, the kind that you pull, just thread one through end through the other and pull, and they get tighter and you can't get them back out again, and just snip them off. Just put them around the needle until they're fairly tight, but not so tight as they don't move, and snip them off really, really close to the edge, and they don't snag, and they work very well, perfectly fine. But they're not shiny, they look a bit crap. So yeah, if you want those, then please, I will give those away, and I'll do the drawing next week using the wonderful random number generator, which no one believes is random. What else? I won a book. Yay! Funny, slightly funny story. I ordered 2 books from Amazon. I have an Amazon wish list. So most people have an Amazon wish list these days. And I very rarely order things from it, actually. Those needles were on my Amazon wish list. But yeah, I ordered 2 books, which I will review when I get. There's one of them wasn't in stock, so it will take a while to ship. I ordered Finishing School by Deborah Newton, and I ordered Loop to Loop Lace, More Than 30 Novel Lace Designs for Knitters, it said, by the Agency Group. I really, really wanted the Finishing School one because I'm terrible at finishing things. As in, I could get to the end of something, but I'm not very good at seaming, weaving an end, that sort of thing. Just about got the hang of blocking. But it would be nice to have something to refer to, and apparently that's a very good book. I think it's really new, it came out in January or something. So I ordered that, and again the Lace book. And I'd sort of sat on my Amazon wish list deciding which book to buy. I knew I wanted the Finishing School one, but I didn't know what the second one was going to be. I and eventually I decided on one. But I very, very nearly bought a book called Contemporary Irish Knits by Carol Feller, which is mainly sweater patterns or cable-y sweater patterns. Looks like a really nice book, and it's on my Amazon wish list and has been for a while, and I didn't order it, I chose the other one. And I befriended someone on Plurk the other day, and I got a message back from them, a private message saying, remember to give me your email address for the competition because you won the book. Okay. I'd entered a Facebook competition, which was one of these like and relink or sort of reblog things, a repost. I'd done that a couple of weeks ago for a company called Metaphor Yarns, who are a US yarn supplier, or yarn store. And I'd won, but I didn't know because I didn't check. You enter these things and you never check to see whether you won or not. And I assumed that I hadn't because, normally one doesn't win things. But apparently I had, and I won the book. So, yay! I will be having a good mail week, or, the next couple of weeks will be pretty good. I've got 3 books coming. I've ordered another set of needles. Another set of metal, the Nova metal ones. I want to make a colourwork vest, a Fair Isle vest, and it needs a very, very small needle. It's I think it's 3.25, and I don't have 3.25. These start at 3. Maybe 2.75 actually. It was that I needed. They start at 3.5. So I ordered that, and I have my Into the World club shipment. It should be here hopefully tomorrow or Monday or something. I did sneak a peek at the spoiler, and she posts, Chris from Into the World posts a spoiler picture, which she needed a password to get into. It's a linked thing from the Ravelry group, and I did look because I couldn't not look. And it's lovely. Hey, hopefully I'll be able to knit it this time. I don't think I'm quite as enamoured with it as I was with the first one, the last when I got the Mercy Hartigan. She's gorgeous. But maybe it's still beautiful, and we'll see what it's like in person. I think I fell for the other one when I actually took it out of the bag. Right, let's just check if there is anything else that I want to say. I don't think that's it. I'm sorry that I'm podcasting late and recording late this week. In fact, it's late in 2 senses. I'm 2 days late in recording, and it's also 1:21 in the morning. So there we go. I hope you all have a good week. I should get back on schedule by next week. And please feel free to enter the competition to win yourself some stitchy markers. And use those discount codes, because I will be using a discount code certainly for the yarn. I would use the other one, but I just bought these stitch markers from that shop, so I'm not really in the market for any more stitch markers at the moment. Possibly, but the free shipping thing was much better for me, just because I live in the UK. So, okay, well, goodbye. Keep knitting. Remember that every stitch is one stitch closer to the end. It seems to work for me quite a lot. Sitting there knitting and something, oh god, I can't be bothered. I'm just like, every stitch is one stitch closer to the end. Anyway, from Very Dark, sorry, I will wish you a good night. Have a good week. I shall see you again next week. Bye bye.